Welcome back, AfterBuzzers. We have wedding bells that are ringing, your weekly dose of BS, and we have a mother of a day. Stay tuned.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz.
Welcome back. We are here today, Real Housewives of Dallas, Season 4, Episode 9, Mother of a Day. I am your host, Suzi G, your all things wardrobe stylist and kind of girl who grew up in Dallas. We're here today with our wonderful host. We have Miss Joleen Lunzer. She is your ultimate Bravo fan. And we have Erika Edwards, who knows everything on Housewives. She is your expert. Welcome, guys.
What's up,
hey,
party
Suzi.
people? Hey.
So right off the get-go, what are your overall thoughts on this episode?
This episode was a mother. I mean, I think that's what the title was, like a Mother's Day or something. It was a lot of mother-daughter drama. I don't have kids, probably never will, especially now. And so, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of mother-daughter dynamics, how they work, all ages. So, pretty good, but also very cringy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was a lot to kind of take in the gambit between, Brooklyn and Brandi and Mama Dee and D'Andra. But I think it's interesting to see how, even as you grow, you still have these same sort of issues with your mother.
Yes. So we're definitely on this episode going to talk about all things mother related, I guess you could say. We've got a little bit of a weekly dose of BS, which is kind of something new. And then we also have to talk about this wedding. And then after that, we're going to do some fun news, get into our tweets, and then we'll round it out with some predictions. So I think we need to dive right in and talk about this mother of a day. Mm-hmm. I mean, we definitely saw dynamics from every single one of them, I think, except for Cameron. So what did you guys think overall about all of the mom-daughter dynamics here?
I mean, a lot of it was comical, especially the teen-daughter dynamics, because I don't know about you guys, but I was like a real a-hole as a teenager, so I just feel bad for my mom. Like, I wasn't normal until I was about 25, I think. So when I see Kary's daughter just be so just like, God, Mom, how dare you ask me these questions? She's just so, oh, God, get out of my face. I'm making my prom dress. I feel for Kary because she's trying to connect with her on any level. So I was laughing a lot at that. But the Brooklyn stuff, I'm like, Brandi needs to do something now or this is going to get worse. She's 10.
A nightmare. Yeah. And I don't mean to say that. I'm sorry. But she is a handful.
She's a handful.
Little thing. She's very sassy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But then again, I feel like, even from season 1, I think seeing Brandi with her children has always been, they've always kind of been rambunctious, I will say the least, at least before Bruin. I don't know, but for sure. And I think that as they get older, then it's not as cute as it was, like the first season.
Yeah, it's kind of like Melania on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. It was cute when she was like, shut up, Dad, you're stupid, you're fat. And then all of a sudden she's 14 and it's not funny anymore.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly, very true.
And again, I think going back to Kary, it's interesting because her daughter, it's almost like she's just doing it on purpose. She's just that teenager that I have to make a prom dress. Like she's so wah-wah.
And I have to go to this fancy school. And she's like, you guys probably won't pay for it because it's like in London. Like it hurts to like hold up my head. And I'm thinking, take out a loan. That's what I did. I mean, you have someone who can co-sign it. Take a loan out.
Right.
I don't know. I guess I don't get it.
Now, do you guys think, going back to Brittany, I mean, how do you think she's doing as a mom? I mean, she talks about possibly having a 4th child right now.
Brandi?
Yes, I just said Brandi. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm thinking about Brittany, too.
I'm thinking about Brittany and Brandi. But, so how do you think, do you think she could have a 4th child?
I think that's tough because I think it's, it's nice to have the small baby there or whatever. But if you are already having these sort of issues with Brooklyn, then maybe, it's time to focus on the kids that you already have.
Because they could be acting out for that reason.
Yeah,
exactly. Right. Adding this new family member. And if we remember the way Bruin was brought in, it was kind of quick for the girls. There wasn't a period of time where they could get prepared for this new brother. I kind of want Brandi to take the sister in because just my heart is like, keep the siblings together, but then I
Right.
need her to hire at least 2 nannies
Yes.
or something because she needs help.
The other thing for me, too, though, is that I think when you watch it, Brandi wants Brittany to be her best friend. And
Or wants Brooklyn to be her best friend. Yeah.
What is-
You're just
my
thinking of
B's are
Britney
all
Spears.
over today. But I don't think that that's the best thing to do if you're not disciplining your children. I mean, for me, you don't want to be their best friend. And I think she's almost trying to do that a little bit now. She almost doesn't know how to handle her child at this point.
Yeah.
To
She's
make her
running the
not-
show.
Yes, she is.
Brooklyn's doing whatever she wants.
I mean, what did you think about all that?
I mean, I think it's kind of distressing because Brandi comes off as just like so desperate to just get Brooklyn to say something nice.
Right.
You know, so it's like more gifts, more money, more shopping, more anything like every episode. And kind of Brooklyn is clear like it's not about, you know, what you can do for me. So
Yeah. I
Right.
think this young girl is crying out for someone to ground her and make her take a nap. Like, seriously. And I think the teenager should take a nap, too. Everyone needs a nap.
I mean, she literally said, "I hate you."
Yeah.
To
That
her
needs
mom.
to
That's
be...
not a good sign.
No, that's
right
not a
there.
good sign. And the poor... And the daughter in the middle is like, what's wrong, Mom? What's wrong, Mom? And she's like, nothing, nothing. Tell her. Say, I don't know, I'm not a parent, so maybe I shouldn't say, but maybe just tell her. And say, you know, what your sister's saying right now is hurting my feelings. Maybe they could have an open dialogue or just take a nap. One of the two things have to happen. It's a lot.
I mean, we have the children dynamics, but then we also need to get into Mama D because she's back.
Oh my gosh.
I can't. I mean, the whole situation at that dinner was painful for me to watch. And I also noticed that they had matching earrings. Did they play on that? I know this is totally off the radar there, but
They're-
Deandra and her mom,
Unhealthy codependent.
it's
so,
a very interesting read for me, this whole situation.
yeah. I mean,
exactly. I don't know where they buy their jewelry at though.
or their shoes. Did you see Deandra's shoes? That I was like, do those have lightning bolts on them? And sell some of the shoes and the dresses. Get a
we don't know
small
where
place.
and we don't know why.
Yeah.
That's
It's very Dallas.
It was very interesting. But Mama D she's just a problem. Like we talked about it last episode. I mean, she is in competition with her daughter. She created the monster that is Deandra when it comes to finances and not being responsible and being like, I couldn't live on $60K. Well, you wouldn't have to because a dress alone in your closet's $18K. Sell it.
Right.
And then she says, I'm not going to put any more money into this business.
I know.
I mean, you're handing it over to your daughter. I mean, you would think you would want her to survive, but again, she doesn't seem to care.
No, and I wonder what you guys think of this. Why do you think Deandra fell into this kind of failing business with a 90s marketing and business model when all the housewives have been able to venture off and do their own things? She could have started up her own business. I mean, every housewife on every franchise sells something different, has people write books for them. Why couldn't she do that? Why is she going broke on this?
Do we think that Deandra has like a work ethic problem that was referenced that she would come in at 4:30 in the afternoon instead of 9 to 5? So that kind of makes me wonder if maybe she just didn't want to put in the work before.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I do feel like Mama D certainly seems like someone who would keep tight, I guess, a tight seal on what the actual books and the numbers are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel like if she got to work any earlier, she would have been more aware of what's going on in the company than she is now.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Mama D purposely, not so much to like get anything over on Deandra, but I think there are certain parents who are like, okay, we don't talk about money. You don't know how much my paycheck is. You don't know the final numbers until it's time for you to, be in a place to use them.
I think Mama D sabotaged her. I think she sabotaged her from the start. I think she's one of those parents. I've seen friends that have these kind of parents who are jealous of their children, moms with daughters. That happens more often than we think. And she was in Washington, selling, I think she was lobbying for nuclear waste, which, okay, and was seemingly doing well under the Bush administration. Their mom's like, come back, come back, come back. And so from the beginning, it seems like she's been setting her up for failure, which is very disturbing.
And then Jeremy said he was going to be a big help in this little dinner meeting, and he was not. So I feel like they didn't really make much progress.
No.
It's going to be the continuing saga of Mama D and Deandra and where this business is going to end up.
Well, why can't Jeremy work? Like, he could do headshots or something. He's a photographer. Why can't he make money?
I mean, I think he can work, but I don't think he can work at a level to support the lifestyle that D'Andra wants, you know. I mean, I think he can't work that much, or, you know, if he can, not like instantaneously. Let me put it like that. You know, and I thought it was cute to kind of see them working together. Like, he can work, you know, he can help her, like, send out mailings or whatever now that she's working from home. I don't know what she...
Well, it's gonna... 30% of the mail gets lost, so don't send out mailings.
Yeah, so maybe the other 70% he can stuff those envelopes. I mean, he could do something.
That's true. That's a good point.
Well, I mean, we definitely saw a lot of interesting mother-daughter dynamics.
Yes.
But I think before we go into our next topic, you have something that you want to let us know.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. We really enjoy doing these panels and talking about TV with you. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and also rate and review us on iTunes. It helps us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. So we can keep breaking down mother-daughter dynamics and, you know, just killing it. I think we're killing it doing that.
I mean, speaking of podcasts, we have a weekly dose of BS.
Oh, doesn't it? Okay, now that we are all kind of, you know, we're broadcasters. This is a broad. I don't know why I did this. This is just.
I don't know why you did that either.
Yeah.
I'm a journalist.
Then you're LeeAnne.
I'm a journalist. I don't know what this means. But
that has more to do with me than you, Erika. I don't believe in myself. That's why I did this. No, we are journalists. But it's so funny that once you get a platform, they're like, hey, here's a podcast, and we'll hand you all these viewers and things, and they're like, we're gonna do a prank. See you next week. I mean, what really? Has anyone listened to the BS podcast?
No, I didn't even know they had it. Yes.
No, I haven't. But you know, though, I will say this: like, a lot of them do, like Basketball Wives, Atlanta. Like, everybody's starting their own YouTube after show or whatever. And it's kind of like, I don't want to hold it against them because I'm listened to theirs, but I mean, it's kind of hard to watch because sometimes, or listen to or whatever, because it's like, okay, it's basically them doing a recap of themselves, and it's like, well, I already saw your opinion on the show, so why do I have to watch your opinion twice? So for me, it is a little boring, honestly.
Yeah, well, and that's our job. Like, you're stealing our job. Like, you have your own.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's like Candy's opinion on Candy. Well, okay, thank you.
I
appreciate
name,
that. Yeah,
that's the only good thing. I mean, it was interesting because they dove deep into a pretty intense conversation about having more children after the podcast was over, and that's something that maybe they should be doing on their podcast.
Yeah.
And instead, like you said, they did a prank call. I'm like, how old are you?
However, Brandi's very good at pranking and should maybe be on, like, Crank Yankers on Comedy Central. Like, she could get a side gig as that. But I think, their podcasts, it could have more substance, and maybe we just didn't see it.
Right.
But them just pranking Kary is not enough.
No, I didn't find it that funny.
Yeah, but I guess it's better than them, like Erika said, recapping themselves. Like, you did great, Stephanie. You too, Brandi. We hate LeeAnne.
Or exactly, or to be Stephanie, like, okay, you know, I stood up for myself with Cameron, but Cameron wouldn't listen to me. Like, okay, I saw that. So, like...
I'm going to have to listen to it and then gather a more formulated opinion on how
I'm being pretty judgmental on it because I'm jealous.
She did do a funny prank. She did well to her defense on that. But again, I kind of am not loving the podcast after the show because, like you said, it ends up just being a recap, and we've already seen that.
Yeah, so I mean, and I agree with you. I'm not going to pass judgment without actually listening to it, which I have not done. And I just think that the way, at least the producers have exposed it to us isn't that great. Like, I feel like the producers must not like it because they're not really giving us any really good, interesting clips that would draw me to listen to this BS.
And they just show up.
So I need you guys to do a little bit more editing.
Yes.
But because I do like Brandi and Stephanie, I'll listen anyway, but I'm like, they edit it in a way where you're like, okay, why would I go listen to that? Like,
right.
It wasn't a good marketing tool for them. And those two guys that were there probably have to do all the work. They show up late and they're like, what should we talk about?
They probably get a kick out of it. They probably drinking some beers.
I know, probably.
Exactly. You need to give them more Jesus juice or something, but it was not, I mean, I think part of it was just the way it was cut. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm assuming that if they're doing a, I don't know if it's 30 minutes or an hour, however long the format is, but it has to be, I'm hoping, longer than that one crank call that we saw. So,
They could have a good mom podcast. I feel like they
what I
could
was
just talk
thinking.
about, their friendship and how they, can't live without each other.
Right.
That could be an ongoing thing.
I mean, because I did like their conversation after the podcast, diving deep into that. But what we really need to talk about here is what we've been waiting for all season long. The wedding.
Oh my, after all the parties, we're finally having a wedding.
Yay. No matter how you're invited, you're invited. So that's
I didn't even get a text message.
that's the
I'm sad.
lesson.
Seriously.
From, it's like, even if you're part of a group message, it still counts. And you can still eat at the reception.
Even if you screenshot someone else's
Exactly.
invite, you can show up and go, I was
I was
invited.
invited. I got the screenshot from a screenshot.
Yep.
Retweet
Retweet it, whatever you got to do to get in the door.
I mean, I wish that I was invited to this wedding because it looks like it was a sight to be seen. Okay, what did you guys think, though, of her final dress fitting?
There was a lot of crying, which understandable. It's her first wedding. I'm going to give that to LeeAnne. I mean, I don't want to age shame her. She waited. Good for you, LeeAnne. Wait for your, Captain Hook, Prince Charming. Like, I like him. He dresses like an ex-cop. Like, he totally looks like a narc. I love it. And so I was happy for her and her friends. Here's the thing with Cameron. Cameron is one of those women who's just addicted to weddings. Like, I feel like she would follow any woman into her fitting and be like, oh, I'm so glad I could be here for your special day. And they'd be like, who are you? So that's kind of how I felt about that. But it was nice. It was an interesting dress that you were saying, she didn't pay for and was getting a little bit of hate online for that.
Yes, she's gotten a little online hate from Deandra herself, which comes later in this show. But the dress was about a $25,000 dress.
Right.
And she did get it for free, obviously for promotional reasons. And it was a beautiful gown. I mean, I thought she looked stunning.
Yeah, she did.
Especially for her age, I think, like sleeves and the lace. Like, I thought it was beautifully done.
So, and you being a stylist yourself, like me saying it is like I was telling these guys, I only own Adidas clothing, so I can't really have a say in someone's style. But you can because you're a professional.
I actually think LeeAnne, except for some of her interesting hair clips that she wears, I think she's a pretty stylish woman in her 50s. She walked in some pink and red, and I always think her outfits look kind of put together. I don't mind her style. All the women have a very unique kind of style.
Who has the best and who has the worst? And then I want Erika to answer too, because I have no idea what either of you think, and I'm so interested to find out.
I have to say, and I hate to say this, that I think Kary does not have good style.
No.
I just think
Which
for her
Kary?
age,
Or the-
Kary, the new Kary, as we call her.
Okay.
She's always in like super short skirts and ruffles. Like I think that she dresses a little bit too young for her age, so I'm not a big fan of her style. And I actually have to say, though, I do like LeeAnne's style.
Yeah.
The rest of the women kind of, I mean, Cameron, she's always dressed in like pink. She reminds me of Reese Witherspoon in Legally Blonde.
Yeah, she does. How about you, Erika?
I think as far as style goes, usually maybe Stephanie. I think actually is
the best?
Is the one that I kind of like because I just feel like everyone else. Usually I don't know what they're doing. I don't really understand. I'm like, what are you?
It's confusing.
What are you trying to prove? Who are you proving it to? I have so many questions. So Stephanie, I kind of think how she is. She's always sort of middle of the road. So she'll wear something that's kind of like sexy, but it's not like too sexy like Brandi might do or the Kary Dubrow might do. I think Kary Dubrow usually when Mark, her ex, or her husband, I should say, when he was buying her stuff, I think her stuff was cute. Like when he picked it out or whatever, it's usually very stylish and designer. I think for her personally, she just like wears mostly like hoochie stuff when I see her, but or now that she's a friend of the show when we all see her. But so I think I kind of like Stephanie the best actually, and then the worst, I don't know, like LeeAnne was always okay to me, but then I don't know, that dress that did 1,000 different changes, I just was not a fan of that. Although it did, she had a couple red sleeves that made it a little bit cuter, but it was like
So strange.
It was just a black dress that she like, oh, okay.
Put a fabric here. Put it here.
Tonight is the tube top. I don't know. So I have not always been in love with LeeAnne style.
Yeah.
Although I did like her wedding dress. So, you know, and that's what I'm saying. If you're going to get something for free, why not look good in it? So I think she looks great.
I mean, the thing about Dallas is it's like go big or go home. So there's always a lot of jewelry involved and
There's
hair
someone who goes
pieces.
too big. I think worst dress is Deandra. I cannot stand anything Deandra. I don't know what's going on. It's too much earrings. If it's earrings, then it's necklace. I don't like it. I just think Deandra, I'm not a fan. I actually think LeeAnne is one of the best dressed. I think she has a little bit of like she mixes like classic. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Classic, a little street style. Like she keeps it hip, you know. But I'm with you on the dress that goes 172 ways. I wouldn't wear it any of the
You
ways.
lost me at LeeAnne and
Yeah.
hip, but otherwise,
Yeah.
I agree with you because
Well,
I think she does try to mix some stuff up.
She
when
does.
when I call it hip, no.
When she designs her own.
But it's interesting to see that she puts forth some Southern effort, and we like that.
Yes.
For sure.
Like
Although-
tonight was kind of hip with a pink boot, and she had a little purse, and then she had the cute cut off jeans. I mean, I'm trying to really sell this hip to Eric. Erica's like, don't.
I
Bother.
mean, LeeAnne does have her moments.
Yeah.
And then, you know. Yeah.
I don't know if I would have worn that tiara in my
Oh, true. That's a
hair
good point.
as a 50-year-old plus woman getting married. For me, that was a little bit too much of a crown jewel on her head, but it is LeeAnne, and she is going to make this wedding as big and bold as she can. The other thing, though, I thought was interesting during all of this is when the women were getting ready. Can we talk about the relationship between Cameron and her husband, Court?
Oh, the porn.
The porn book.
Okay.
Right.
Weird. But when my
hilarious.
husband changes the hand towel, I always have a hand towel on the bathroom on the sink. I get very excited, and I love him so much more to know that he can do that.
But the fact
By
that she
himself.
made a whole book of
That's
it
weird.
do we find that weird? I thought that was a little strange. I don't think I would want to tell my significant other to dress up and clean toilets, and I'm going to take photos of you and put it in a book to show people.
Exactly. The toilet one was weird, but I could see how that would give her a little lady boner, just like knowing that he's like doing stuff for her. But the book, we don't need a scrapbook about it.
But Kary's face was hilarious. She had that one eyebrow raised, kind of like, okay, that's what floats your boat, woman. Then, you know, we're excited for you. But what else did you guys think so far? Because obviously the wedding is going to continue into the next episode. So from this, what else did you kind of gather on the actual wedding day?
I think it was interesting to watch LeeAnne be like totally stressed out about her mom and what time she was coming, and that whole, you know, her mom being late, and kind of feeding into LeeAnne's like really deep seated fears and aggression. So that was actually very interesting to watch.
Do we think she shows up?
Late. I think she'll show up late, but I think there's so many times now through the years of Dallas where I do feel like LeeAnne uses a lot of her past as a crutch, and I think she's totally validated in her feelings, but, you know, all the women have, you know, voiced we've all been through things. Yours might be the worst. But then when you see her standing there and her mother is late to her daughter's wedding, I'm just like, oh yeah, your mom is kind of garbagey. She can't show up on time to your wedding. Everyone else is there, but you're not a priority. That must feel really awful.
It's also the drama of Bravo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you think the producer's like, don't go in yet.
Stay back.
We have you
Or
scripted
not
as
just that. I mean,
bad
because
mom.
that's the thing. I mean, I kind of feel like if it's your mom, and one, why isn't she there getting like? Why isn't she getting hair and makeup with you? Why wasn't she allowed to get makeup with you or whatever? And yeah, like people do run late. Like hold the door.
I mean, they kind of just started dipping the toes into the water of this wedding towards the end of this episode.
There might be no food.
So I'm kind of very interested to see how that goes. But then, speaking kind of fashion, you have some fun news for us regarding Halloween. Some more fashion.
Yes, we do. So.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Yes.
All right, so we have some photos, actually. of the girls at the Halloween party. So this is Kary, and I think that's Stephanie, I believe. And so we have, but we definitely have Kary Brittman and her husband. And yeah, they're frightening me a lot.
So
actually.
creative with the cat costume staff.
Yes. So yeah, that's Kary with Eduardo.
Looking fresh.
He's got to sign
Yes.
that house over. Okay. What is going on here? Who's on the left?
Wait, that is
Who is that?
yeah.
I can't even read that far.
Me either.
Is that Cameron?
So I don't think that's Cameron.
That's Kary on the right.
It's Kary on the
It's
right.
Kary on the right, and
That's not Stephanie.
It's not Brandi.
We can't even tell who they
Is
are.
it Deandra? It's because they have contacts in.
those contacts look pretty crazy. All right,
Yeah.
well,
So it's her friend. It's a friend of the show, a new friend.
yes.
I don't know who had the party.
They are
why
having
were we not invited?
loads of fun here. Loads of fun.
Oh.
Okay, now there's Cameron.
There's Cameron.
Now we do recognize
What did she dress up as herself?
Yes, or
Well,
just maybe.
Cameron like never really gets into the swing of costumes. She's always
No.
like, "This is Cameron going to a costume party. This is Cameron going to a lingerie party."
I bet she has on pink.
Yes,
I'm sure she
yes.
does. I'm sure she does.
I
So,
mean,
yeah.
they're unrecognizable.
Oh, and old Kary's in the middle next to
Yes,
new
exactly.
Kary.
Exactly.
I wonder if there's any little beef, but I mean, I know they were friends, but I wonder how. I never knew why they got rid of old Kary in the first place. But
I think because she started a new show with her husband
oh, good. Okay,
that is
I didn't
coming
know.
out on
right.
Bravo.
Yeah, I have heard that.
Yes, that's some other news.
Yeah. Well, way to go. Doubling
you
up
go.
on news.
So, and I'm sure after these pictures surfaced, we've had a lot of crazy tweets come out. So
Yes.
that brings us to our special segment.
Cool.
Yes. So
Oh my gosh, Mama D.
we've got some fun tweets as always. Do one of you guys want to read this
Okay,
one?
so Ronnie, Nick's mom, hey, said, at the Talk CBS on Real Housewives of Dallas, 50-something LeeAnne wears full white gown and veil for her wedding. At what age is, if any, is it inappropriate to wear all this? No age. You can wear white. It's just how many times you've been married, right? Or how many partners or something. I don't know.
it's her first wedding, so I say wear whatever you want to wear and go big.
Why are they obsessed with her being 50?
Okay, so Deandra had a very funny tweet. It wasn't funny, but she kind of dug into LeeAnne on this one.
Okay.
I'm curious to know why LeeAnne is carrying an Hermes Paris handbag but can't afford her wedding dress.
Ooh,
was a
listen,
dig.
Deandra, your business is not making any money. You glass houses. You should not be tweeting about this.
No, but again, she's just stirring the pot there, bringing
She's
that
mad.
up.
Yeah.
So that's another funny one. And then Ebony Ladon, Deandra's mother is reveling in the fact that the company is a sinking ship, and that's ultimately that will be her daughter's legacy when it fails.
Oh, that's so sad.
The shade of it all.
That's so true.
That's kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah,
That it's
exactly.
like she wants,
Yeah.
them to fail. Look at Mama D. Mama D is totally giving me who gone check me boo vibes.
Oh, Sheree. She is giving Sheree vibes there.
Who's gonna check me, boo? Yes.
And she is kind of a little mini bone collector in herself, saying that, finding out information on her own. But she collects bones on her own daughter, which isn't right.
Mama D just looks a little frozen to me. She just, I
I think
just
that's
looks
what she's
mean.
going for.
Yeah.
She is frozen. She is not nice. So those are your fun tweets for this week. And again, I love reading these during the week because anytime like news comes out, people are all over it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I love that Deandra just threw her own shade.
I know.
So speaking of that, she was not at the wedding. So what are our predictions? Do we think she's gonna
Your
show up?
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Well, she did say she might just show up, but I doubt it. I don't think
She's
so.
like a wedding crash.
No, I think she'll be waiting on Twitter to see it fail, or waiting for the group text that she'll probably have with like Brandi and Stephanie about there's not enough food, the crown fell off, her and her mom are fighting, her husband took his eye patch off, he's drunk, and it looked like her husband was hitting on. Possibly not hitting on, but he was like, that girl looks pretty good who was up in the swing. thing
yeah.
at their.
Why
I
would
wouldn't
you
have
have
swinging
that?
women. No, at my wedding.
Like
no.
I couldn't even figure out what was going on there. I'm like, I need to see this episode. Like, is she having like strippers at her wedding or
Just have food. Don't have swinging women. Just food for people to eat. That's what I need.
Well, I also like that she had like that 5-hour gap. I'm interested to see what people do because maybe people will just start fighting between
That's
those
a long
5
time.
hours.
Have you guys ever been to a wedding with a 5-hour gap?
I have not.
No, I think an hour is too long.
What are they doing? Like
Getting drunk?
procreating? This is weird.
That's too long of a time.
I feel like there
let
have to be
people-
outfit changes or something.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, well, now change into the black. Because I have seen weddings where, like, you were at this place and you were wearing this. And then, you know, I forgot who had a wedding like that. But then you went to some place and you wore, like, a different outfit. So,
Erika, what if she's changing into her reversible dress and it takes 5 hours to wear it every way?
Yes. And then she don't think anyone will notice that every time she comes out, it's a new but same black dress.
This would be so smart for sales for her to do that.
It just worries me that you're giving these women 5 hours to maybe possibly drink, sleep, get into fights. I mean, when they come back, they might just, who knows, but like wreak havoc at this reception.
Plot your demise.
Plus no food.
No.
That
Exactly.
shows that there's no food. What else do we think coming up in the season? Do you think we're going to see more of the mom-daughter relationships kind of pan out here?
I definitely think so as far as D'Andra goes, because it's either going to be Deandra and LeeAnne or Deandra and Mama D. So I think like we are going to see. I mean, I think really that'll be the question: can Deandra keep the business afloat? And you know, did her mother spend all of her inheritance?
Ooh, that'll be so interesting. We're also going to see LeeAnne's controversial comment she made about Kary.
Kary. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how that all went down because I read it and I'm like, LeeAnne, what were you thinking?
And what about Little Miss Brooklyn?
Oh gosh, you know, someone's got to get her in a helmet and nap time. Got a helmet now. You got to. If I was the mom, I'd be like, now we have to wear a helmet all the time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough because eventually she's going to get more and more, I think, backlash from people just watching because she looks like a terror.
And she's only 10.
And she's being edited to look real crazy. So hopefully be like, okay, this is how you're looking on camera. Maybe be nice to mommy just one time.
This could ruin your whole life. Not to scare you, but
Exactly.
Yes. And I also want to see Cameron and Stephanie, how their relationship kind of continues to go because they pretty much ignored one another during the wedding gown fitting. So I think they're still kind of on like a slippery slope as to where they're going to go.
below the surface because they're surface level, which is
just
so
surface level
offensive
fans.
to Cameron to be surface level.
Exactly.
I love Cameron. She just, every episode, she says or does something that just knocks me off my socks.
Yep.
Like having like a porn book of her husband cleaning.
I know, little Court. Isn't he cute? He's just like pocket sized. He's so cute. He's just so
I
little.
don't know how their husbands deal with them.
I don't either.
I think Court is adorable.
I think he's
He is. He's so
adorable.
little and I just want to
So
hold
cute.
him.
Yeah.
He's my favorite of the husbands.
Yes, for sure. I don't think he has any competition in Dallas. For Dallas husbands?
I don't know. I'm liking Travis this season, actually.
Travis
so
is good.
He's
This season,
grown.
too. He's
Yeah,
grown on
this
me as
season,
well.
I'm liking him a lot. I think he was very mature this season. So I'm kind of feeling Travis.
Well,
this season.
I'm predicting a cat fight at this wedding, or I'm just hoping that there's one because that will just be the icing on top of the cake with no food.
Yes.
Very true. Very
Nice.
true.
Well, that is our show for tonight. We want to thank you guys so much for joining in on the Real Housewives of Dallas. And until next week, after Buzzers, we will buzz you later.
Follow us on social media at Joleen Lunzer.
Oh, yes. Where can we find you on social media?
All right, you guys, you can follow me on all of my social media at Erika, Erika, D as in door, Edwards.
And you can follow Suzi.
At Suzi G Styles.
Yep. Bye.
All right. Bye. Ciao for now, folks.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.